What's up, guys? So in today's video, we're going to be making a ping pong style game, like the classic game, and we're going to be using Python and the Pygame library. So we can go ahead and get started. So let's start by saying import Pygame game and import sys. So what sys is basically doing is it's going to be used to like exit the game safely. I guess that's the best way to explain it. But yeah. Okay, so next we got a pygame.init. So we're initializing all the Pygame modules. Then let's go and set up our window display settings. So let's say width and height equals, let's say 800 and 600. And then our screen equals pygame.display.set mode. And let's just say width and our height. There we go. And wait, yeah, we need I forgot. We need two sets of parentheses since this is a tuple. So yeah. And then pygame.display.set caption. Let's say, so this is what's gonna be the title of our window. So I'll just title it Ping Pong Game. There we go. There we go. And let's just define some colors. So let's just say, so these are gonna be constants. So white equals RGB values, which is gonna be just a max 255. Then let's say black equals 0, 0, 0. And then I'm gonna just define a nice blue color if I want to use it. And you guys can add as many as you want, customize this to however you guys want it. But 0 for red, let's just say 140 for green, and 240 for blue. So that's gonna be kind of like a light blue. Now let's define the kind of like the size of the paddle that we're gonna use for our ping pong game. So let's say paddle width. Okay, and paddle height respectively. We're gonna say our paddle width is gonna be 10 pixels, so kind of thin, and it's gonna be kind of long, 100 pixels. And the speed that will move the paddle, so paddle speed, let's set it equal to 7. Or, yeah, 7. You guys can change this if you want, but now that we have the two paddles that we're gonna use, let's define our ball. So the ball that's gonna be bouncing around the screen. We gotta define that. So ball size equals, say 15 pixels. Ball speed for our x. X is gonna be equal to 5. And then ball speed for our y equals 5 as well. So yeah, here we go. And yeah, this is just so that I can go in different directions. But what else? Okay, so we're gonna make a scoreboard for our game. So let's just make a font for it. So font equals pygame.font.system font. Oh, capitalize this font. Arial and size, let's say 30. Here we go. Now we're gonna make our kind of like our game objects. So even though we have our paddles, like settings of it defined, we got to define it inside of the game. So let's go ahead and say our left paddle. So the paddle that's going to be on the left hand side, we're going to make it equal to pygame game.rect, capitalize that rect 10 with our defined height divided by 2 minus our paddle height divided by 2 and paddle now the width and our paddle height, I think. So yeah, this is gonna place it. What this is gonna do is it's gonna place our paddles kind of vertically centered on the left. Since this is the left hand side, it's gonna place it on the left, centered on the y-axis. But now let's do our right paddle equals same thing, pygame.rect. But now we're gonna have to do width minus 20 and height divided by 2 minus paddle height divided by 2, and then paddle width and then paddle height, just like that. And what this is going to do is the same thing here, but now for our right hand side. But yeah, okay, now that we have that, we gotta do the same thing for our ball. So just make a rect for our ball. So ball equals pygame dot rect width divided by 2. So it's just gonna be in the middle minus ball size divided by 2 and height divided by 2 minus ball size divided by 2 and ball size ball size. Okay, there we go. So it's going to create the ball and it's going to place it directly on the kind of like the center of the screen or window. Now for our score, we're going to have to create a kind of like a tracker for our score. So let's go ahead and do left score. So the score for the left paddle, just going to set it to 0, and then right score, we're going to set it to 0 as well, just because nothing's going on yet. And if you guys saw my last video, we're going to do clock equals pygame dot time dot clock. This is something we're going to need later, but yeah, we'll just define it right now. Now we're going to do our function. We're going to make a function to reset the ball so that every time it goes out of the screen, it gets reset in the same place and then kind of moves into a random place. Or yeah, so define reset ball, no parameters needed. So ball, let's say dot center equals the width divided by 2 and then height divided by 2 and that. And now we're going to use our global variable. So it's just going to be able to use any variable that we already defined, and it's going to take it and put it inside of this function. So global, let's say ball speed x and ball speed y. There we go. So now those two are global variables inside of a function. So let's do ball speed y times equals -1 and ball speed x times equals -1. So what this is going to do is that every time it goes out, it's going to vary the well, it's going to flip the direction that the ball's going so that it keeps like the game kind of like different every time it resets. But yeah. So now that we're done with that, we can start a while true loop, which is needed in every single Pygame code program, whatever. So let's do for event in pygame.event.get parentheses if event dot type equals pygame.quit. It's just code you need. You don't need to know this exactly. Pygame.quit sys.exit. So as I told you guys before, this sys is going to be used to kind of like safely exit the program once we're click the X button. But yeah, this is what this does basically. And yeah, so okay, now we can exit this for loop and say let's define our keys. So the keys that we're going to press. So pygame dot keys dot that key, yeah, get pressed. There we go. So our key is going to be whatever key we're pressing down. So let's say this is going to be for the movement of our paddles. So if key pygame dot key, let's say W, if we press the W key, and left paddle dot top, it's less than 0. So it's just checking that it's not at the keys. Oh, wait, keys. This is just checking if the paddle's not at the top. Then we are going to say left paddle dot y is going to be minus equal to paddle speed. There we go. So if we press the W key, we're going to go up. Because remember, our y-axis in Python or any program is kind of inverted. So 0 is at the top and higher numbers are at the bottom. So if we wanted to go to the top, we got to decrease or invert our speed. So, but yeah. Now we're going to have to do this for every single thing. So, yeah, I'll probably skip this part and you guys can go ahead and do this code by yourself. So, yeah. Okay, so what I just did is I just defined the vertical movement for our paddles. This is for our left paddle and this is for our right paddle. So now what we have left is just the movement for our ball. So let's say our ball.x is going to be plus equal to our ball speed x. And then it's going to be the same thing for our ball.y. It's going to be plus equal ball speed y. There we go. So that's just the movement. And the reason we do y and x is just so it can move not just horizontally and vertically, but also diagonally and in any kind of way that it wants. So yeah. Now we're gonna have to create a border. So let's say if ball dot top. This function just calls the top of the ball. Let's say okay. So if it's less than or equal to 0, or ball dot bottom is greater than or equal to 0. So it's checking that it's not at the bottom. Or height. We can say height, not 0, because yeah. Okay. So then we're gonna invert the speed, the y speed of our ball, so that it can bounce up or it will bounce down. So let's say ball speed y is gonna be times equals -1. So it's just gonna invert the speed in the y-axis, so it goes the opposite direction. Now collisions for our paddles. So we're gonna have to say if ball that collide rect with our left paddle, or ball that collide rect with our right paddle, then we're going to invert the x speed so that it can move in the kind of opposite way that it was moving on the x-axis. So yeah, ball that speed x equals no times equals -1. We're just gonna invert that. And now let's check. Oh yeah, out of bounds. So simple. If ball dot left. So if it goes past the paddles and it's all the way on the left, it's less than or equal to 0. Then right. Oh yeah, this is where we're gonna do our score. So right score is gonna be plus or equal, or yeah, +1. And we're gonna call a reset ball function. Here we go. Now on the other side, if ball dot right is greater than or equal to our width, then we're gonna say left score +1, and we're gonna reset our ball function. There we go. Yeah. Okay. And that's all we need for our program. Now we just kind of need the filler code. So just what we need to run the program again. So we're just gonna say screen dot fill. What color should we use? Black. Should I use blue? I like the blue color, so let's just say blue. There we go. And now we're gonna define. Well, we're gonna have to draw in all of our objects. So let's say pygame dot draw dot rect our screen. Okay, so paddle. Color should we do our paddle? Black. Yeah, we can do our paddle black. So black. Say left paddle. There we go. Then we're gonna do this for kind of everything. So I'm just copy this, paste, oh, paste, and paste, and this is gonna be right, and this is gonna be our ball. There we go. Now, okay, so now that we have that, I can actually just go ahead and draw a line that's gonna divide the middle part of each a line. Let's say, oh, draw dot align screen. We can make this one in white. There we go. And then placement, we're gonna say width divided by 2 comma 0, and then width divided by 2 comma height. There we go. So that's from where to where it's going to go. And yeah, that's our line. Now that we have that, we can, oh yeah, we have to draw the scores. So very last thing, so we're almost done, guys. Left text is going to equal, say, font dot render string for our left score, and true, and let's make it black. There we go. And yeah, okay, so that's our left text. Now our right text is going to equal font.render, just the same thing, but for our right score, and true, and black. The reason we can't just directly kind of insert this variable into our screen is because it's not a string. That's why I have to convert it here, and I can just add a color. So yeah, that's just a more convenient way to do it. So now to put it in the screen, we're gonna say screen.blit left text, comma, where we want to put it. Let's say width divided by 4, and 20. So yeah. Then the other text screen dot blit right text. We're gonna say width times 3 divided by 4, so that can be on the right side, and divided by 20. Or yeah, comma 20. Yeah, there we go. That's it. Now we're just gonna need this pygame dot display dot flip and clock dot tick 60. There we go. And oh yeah, forgot. There we go. And I think that's it. I think we're done. Let me think. I think we're done. So we can go ahead and try it. And let's see how this runs. Okay, so let's go ahead and run it. And there we go. So there's a multiplayer game, so we can move each paddle individually, and the ball just goes. And if I let one go, then the score increases, and that's perfect. Then you can change this to any type of colors you want. But yeah, and look how the ball alternates every time. So that's good. So that's it for today, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed, learned something. I'll probably make a couple more videos about Pygame. I really enjoy it. But yeah, thank you so much. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe, and see you guys in the next one. Thank you.